Hello everyone, good morning. Welcome to this Docker session. Okay, so yesterday we have seen a lot of things like how to download an image with the help of Docker image pull command, how to create a container from it with the help of Docker container run command, and after that we have uh, logged into the container with the help of Docker container execute, have done the port mapping as well. So let me show you some commands which we have used yesterday, which is there on the GitHub page. I have already shared link with you guys so that you can just go through it and create sorry create your own notes. Okay, so over here, uh, like how to pull an image which is present over here, list all the images which you have downloaded on your end, create a container, but this will run in the foreground. Okay, in the attach mode. If you want that container to be created in the background, then use -d for detach mode. So container will get created and it will get created in the background with some random name. If you want to specify certain specific name, provide this option -n name, and container name can be anything, it's up to you. And then once you create a container, you can list that container with the help of docker container ls. You can replace ls with ps as well, both will work. So ls or ps, it is going to show you only the containers which are up and running. If you want to see the container which are into the exited status, -a is for all. All means like a running container plus exited container. Rm is to remove the container, then rm-f is to remove. Rm will remove the container which are in the exited status or stop status. If container is up and running, then rm will not work directly. You have to use -f to forcefully remove that container. And other option is like stop that container and then use rm. And if you want to start any container, start, stop, restart. Rename is like, let's say you created a container with a name as c1 and you want to like change that name to c2. In that case, rename is the command. Cid is nothing but a container id. uh, so you can provide container id over here and provide a new name, okay, which you want to keep. Execute -it is to get a shell, get login into that container, because container is also one of the virtual machine which is the lightweight virtual machine, okay, which consists of applications, binaries and libraries and all other dependencies. So if you want to see which all things are present within that container, you can just log into that container with the help of execute. Till now we have seen the steps, logs and all, like it to cover that part, but any doubts so far within this uh, commands or understanding of the container or doc image? So we will just look into other commands that we need to learn over here. Okay, so for that matter, let's go to our terminal and docker image ls. So this is the image which we have which we have downloaded yesterday, and we don't have any container created over here. Let's create a container. Let's give a name as c1 and let's create a container from nginx. Okay, I need to create in background, otherwise my prompt will be hanged. So let's delete this, the one which we have just created, and I have done the control C, so it is into the exited status. Let's create one more time with -d as a option so that it will go ahead and create in the background. So we have one container created c1. So within this container c1, definitely nginx web server is running. Okay, and let's consider if this container is not responding properly and things are not working fine as part of the application. In that case, definitely you need to go ahead and check the logs of that container or check the logs of that application. So directly, instead of going within the container and checking the log file, we have a command which is going to check the log of that container. Okay, so Docker container logs and name of the container or ID of the container both will work. It is going to show you the logs. Like let's say if any server is running Tomcat or web server or WebLogic, each and every server will generate certain logs. Okay, so those logs will be visible under the log file. Similarly, if you do this command internally, it is going to fetch all the logs and show it on your screen. Okay, so this is mainly required when there is I mean to say some issue with the container. And if you want to see the trailing logs, I mean to say like the logs will go trailing log means let's say if I do this command now and I got this output till here, but in the next 2 seconds again certain logs let's say got generated, so those logs will not be available over here. Again you have to do the logs to see the latest one. Okay, so that is the meaning of the trailing logs. And if you want to see that, -f is nothing but it is going to uh, take my prompt over here, take my terminal over here, and it is going to wait for other newly generated logs. As of now there is no, but it is going to wait. Just to show you a demo of this, let me go take show you one practical by just creating one of the container with name C2, and let's do a port mapping as let's say 90 80. 90 is the I am keeping 90 as a port of my port of my virtual machine, and 80 is the port of the container over here. Okay, so I'll access this container over the port 90 of the virtual machine. Okay, some mistakes while writing the command -hyphen name C2. So I have created one more container with this port mapping, if you can see. So there are two containers, one is the previous C1, another is the latest one, and let me access this over the port 90. So meanwhile let's trail the logs of this C2. As of now you can see this many like this is the logs, but let's say if I access this container, so access logs will also get generated over here. So how you will access this container? Definitely from the browser, just by taking the IP address over here, and we have used the port 90. You can see welcome to Nginx page got generated over here. Okay, now as soon as I hit this URL, now you can see over here one extra log got generated. It is just to show you that someone from browser have accessed this URL, and this is getting hit to this browser and hit to this content. Let's see if I hit it one more time, again some logs will get generated. Now you can see I hit one more time. So every time you hit to that URL, the access logs will get generated at this location. So this is nothing but a trailing logs, I meant to say, like every time the latest log will get generated, that will be visible over here. So this can be done with the help of -f command. For the F is for the follow the logs over here. Okay, now let's say docker container ps over here, and which other command I'm interested in right now. Okay, let's look into some more information. If you do docker container ls, let me remove the okay. So if you are interested in any of the container to go and see the details about it, like as of now you can see only this much details, like what is the container id, it is created from which image, and when it was created, and some basic information you can see over here. But If you are interested in some detailed information, then you just have to make use of inspect. Inspect is nothing but a description. Okay, describe or get or show more information about that container. Let's say I'm interested in looking into the more information about the container C1, so I'll just say inspect C1. This is going to show you a lot of information about the container, okay, which was not available earlier, but with this inspect command, definitely we will get to see a lot many information, like what is the status of that container, it is running or it is into the exited status, then it has created from which image. So few of the informations I'll explain later on when we will learn the volume and networking. Right now just understand this, that we can fetch a lot of information of regarding any container with the help of inspect command. A few of the information I can show you over here, that these are certain environment variables which are defined within this container. Then along with that, this is the IP address of the container, and along with that, this networking will see when we like what exactly is this bridge network and other things we will get to know once we will start learning the network part of this Docker. But as of now, just understand each and every container will get an IP address. So this container IP address you can see ending with 0.2. If you see the inspect C2, it will have 0.3. So it's incremental order of 0.01. So every time a new container will get created, it will have 0.4, 0.5, 0.6. So likewise each and every container will get an IP address likewise. And this is the thing. Right now we will not explore much information about this because we are yet to go to that section of volume and networking, which is also important part to look into this information. But once we will go into that section, again we will inspect the container to get this information. And okay, so let's look into one more thing over here. As you can see, we can go ahead and access this page, welcome to nginx, and this page is definitely coming from which location, index.html. Okay, so if I just look for that file, index.html, it's over here, user share. So this is the file from which the content is visible. Okay, welcome to nginx and all those things. Let's see if I modify this content as we have done, sorry, this file. Okay, I have modified the content of this file, so definitely if I just refresh this page, I'll get to see my name over here. Okay, so whatever content you are going to add within this file, so that content will be visible. So if you want to modify your website, definitely you have to modify this page over here, and then only things will work. But to do this practical, it's not always like you have to go within the container and update this HTML file. Instead of that, you can just create this file outside the container over here, and you can push that file within the container as well. Okay, so that is also one of the thing. Let's say if I create a file with the same name, index.html, I'll say devops class. Okay, and if I want to copy this file within the container, I can do so with the help of docker cp command. Okay, so what this docker cp is doing, docker cp will copy the file from this virtual machine within the container. Which container we want to copy? Let's see the container id. I want to copy it within this container, c2 container. Okay, so which file I want to copy? I want to copy the file index.html. the one I have created just now, colon, at which location I want to copy. So I'll just say send a full location. So what it is going to do, it is going to copy this. This is the command, okay. It is going to copy the index.html from this Linux machine within the container. So in that case, the content will definitely change again, because it is always going to show you the latest content of that index.html. So these are certain extra commands which we can use at any given point in time. Similarly, we can copy the file from container to the virtual machine, and vice versa is also possible, like copy the file from virtual machine to the container. Maybe right now you won't get when to use which thing, but as of now, just understand the concept, and just keep in mind that we can do this. Later on, you will understand, like at what point in time you have to do this copy, you have to make you at what point in time you have to make use of these commands. Okay. Any if you feel like you are not getting something, or how things are working over here, just let me know. I can explain it one more time if you're not getting some part. Okay, so we are okay with this part. Certain extra commands as well I can explain over here. Like, let's say there are uh, hundreds of containers running on your system, and you want to delete all those containers at a time. Okay, so let's say we have two containers, let's say, and let me create few more containers. I'll just re-execute this command multiple times so that it is going to create a container over here. So over here you can see we have almost 8 to 9 containers created over here. Okay, and let's say if you want to delete all those containers, in that case how you are going to do that, rm-f, and provide the container id or name. So this space, this space, this. So this is how you can delete it. But let's consider there are 100 200 containers, so definitely you cannot copy paste container id every time, right? That is not a good practice, because that will take a lot of time. So in that case you can just get list of all the container id at a time, like ls is to list all the container, hyphen q is to get only the container id. So hyphen q से क्या होता है, we just can filter the container id out of entire output. Okay, so now we are interested only in container id. So in that case, with the help of this command hyphen q, once we get a container id, then it's very easy to delete all those just by doing this. What it is going to do, docker container rm-f, and we are writing this into this quotation, because we want to execute this internally. So first of all, what is going to happen over here, it is going to list all the container id to us, and with this command rm-f command, it is going to delete one container at a time. So this command is going to delete all the containers, so we don't have to specify any container id while doing so. So now you can see I don't have any container over here. With the help of single command, things got deleted successfully over here. So this is how you can get a container id with the help of hyphen q option, and once you get it, it's very easy to delete it with the help of this command. Similarly, you can just stop the container, start the container. If let's say there are 100 containers which are started, and if you want to stop it, so instead of writing rm-f, just write stop, and it is going to stop all the containers. Rm is to remove all the containers. Okay, let me create few more containers again. Okay, let's say two containers. Now let's say we have created two containers, okay, and these are the names of these containers. As I haven't specified any name of the container, so randomly it is going to generate the name of that container. And now you want to look like if a container is taking how much CPU, how much RAM a container is consuming, uh, because let's say if you are using a virtual machine of, let's say, a 2 GB and 2 GB of the RAM, and almost 1.5 GB of the RAM, let's say, consumed by the container. So in that case you are not sure like which container is consuming more memory, which container is not consuming more memory. So all those things you can just identify with the help of this stats command. Okay, stats is nothing but it is going to show the statistics of all the container, like which container is consuming how much memory. So this container C1, like first container is consuming this percentage of the total memory. Similarly the same thing. As of now there is no load on this container, so that's why there is very less memory consumption by the container over here. Okay, how much network input output and what is the PIDs, all those things. And as there is no load, there is no request is going to this container, so that's why the CPU utilization is 0% as of now. So stats is just to show you the status of your container. Status means how much memory and CPU your container is consuming, because it's very important to know us, because at any point in time your machine can be in the bottleneck situation where uh, it will get hang and your machine will not have any resources to work upon. So if so that's where once you detect that okay, this is the container which is consuming 90% of the memory, so you can delete that container and you can just get that uh, consumed memory back to your virtual machine. That's where stats comes into the picture. Okay, so most of the most important commands we have just covered. Now we will just look into some other parts, like how we can create a custom image, I mean to say. This whatever the commands we have seen till now with the container, we have just uh, the basic commands, but those basic commands will get repeated multiple times over here. So right now what we will do, as of okay, let me tell you the story first, then only you will understand. Okay, now you know that whenever you will access to this nginx container, you will get welcome to nginx page. Okay, this is the content which is provided by the nginx image. But what if you want certain extra content whenever you will access to the container? So we have done that manually, like we went to this or we logged into the container, we modify the index.html, and then this content was visible. But what if I don't want to go within the container and modify the index.html from, means whenever container will get created, at that time only it should get created with a my content, not welcome to nginx content. That is my requirement. So this can be done with the help of customization. So you can create a customized image. Customized image is nothing but uh, image which is related to your project, because like my website will not be welcome to nginx. My website will be something about the devops classes or something related to that only, right? So whenever a container will get created, that content which I'm expecting, that should be present within the container, right? Should not be welcome to nginx page. So that is how we can do a customization. Or you can consider a customization के अंदर क्या क्या आ सकता है. Let's say if I have this container, let's log into any of the container. So within this container you can see git command is not working. Within this tree command is not working. So what I want, whenever a container is getting created, this command should be there within the container by default. Or how, from where these commands are coming, or from where these things are coming. These things are coming from the image. Let me explain over here. Whatever things coming to your container are coming from the image, just keep in mind. Okay, this is the image. Okay, let's consider this is the basic nginx image. Okay, and nginx package, nginx software is installed, nginx processes are running within this. Okay, so this is nothing but an image which is a immutable thing, and certain nginx related package processes are present within that. Once you create a container, your nginx web server will get started. That is the thing over here. And if you create a container out of this, your nginx web server will get up and running. And if you want that git command, tree command should be present within the container, so what you have to do, you have to add all those things which you are expecting within the container within this image. Okay, you have to add git command within this image, you have to add tree command within this image, or whatever expected thing you need for working of your project. All of those things you have to add within this image. So once you add git and tree command within this image, and then you create a container, then this container will also have the tree command and git command. So each and everything within this container, it's coming from the image. Okay, that's what we call it as a customized image, like adding something extra as part of our requirement within the image. So that is nothing but a customization. Okay, अभी ये customization करते कैसे हैं? This customization we can do definitely with the help of Dockerfile. So what we have to do over here, we just have to, let's say, write certain Dockerfile. Okay, over here we are going to write certain file, we call it as a docker file. ओके, एक txt फाइल लिखेंगे, उसके अंदर सारी चीज़ें लिख देंगे जो जो अपने को चाहिए. एंड देन वी आर गोइंग टू क्रिएट a image from this docker file. That image we call it as a customized image. So अभी I need nginx के अंदर git and tree. So whatever things I need, I will keep, or I will write all those things in the docker file. And once I use that docker file, then I can go ahead and create a custom image over here. And from this custom image, definitely I'm free to create a container. Okay, so this is the container got created. So this container will also have the git and tree command. Okay, so let's say git and tree command I'm going to write within this. So same thing will be present in the custom image, and similarly if it is present within the image, it will definitely come within the container. Okay, now let's see in practically how to write a docker file. Okay, जैसे शेल स्क्रिप्टिंग का कुछ सिंटैक्स होता है, कुछ कमांड्स यूज करने पड़ते हैं शेल स्क्रिप्टिंग के अंदर. Similarly, docker file also have some syntax uh, that we have to follow. Okay, it's very easy uh, at very basic level, it's very easy. So what we can do over here, let's create a dummy folder, let's say as of now, and nothing over here. Let's create a docker file. From is a syntax, like as we are going to create a customized image. Okay, so what is your base image? On top of the base image, we are going to add some customizations. Okay, so we are using base image as nginx, and we will be adding certain customization things within this image. So which all things you want to run, or which all things you want to execute within the image. Okay, so that is provided by the run. So I need a git command to be git command to be present within the image. So how you install? Usually apt install. This is how you install a git at your end. Okay, let's say I'll add tree as well. So I'm trying to install git command and tree command over here with the help of this run. So as of now I'll just stick to this run part only. So internally, once we make use of this docker file and create an image, that image will be based on this nginx image. The base image will be nginx, and on top of that this will be the customization. So internally it will have git and tree installed within that image. So let's see how it works. So we have to create an image from this docker file. So docker image build is nothing but we have to build a image from this docker file, and let's give it a name of that image will be, let's say, uh, git underscore tree, can be anything. Okay, and dot is nothing but the docker file is present at this location. So this command is going to read the content from the docker file, and it is going to create an image with the name which is provided over here. Okay, git tree hyphen y return 0, some error might be. As of now I'll just remove the tree. Let's see about the git first. Apt install git hyphen y. Okay, seems certain error over here. Git returned a non-zero code. Let's try it manually, and then I'll add within the docker file. Docker container ps. Let's log into any of the container. Execute hyphen it bash. So let's try to install git over here manually. Apt install git apt. Let's update the repository first with the help of apt update, then install git. Okay, now it's working fine. I forgot to update the repository, that's why git was not getting installed. Okay, so I have installed that within the container, but container के अंदर install करने से it will not be a permanent solution, because let's say if that container got deleted, then and if you create a new container, then the new container will not have a git command within it. Okay, so the permanent solution is always, if you want anything to be present within the container extra, add all those extra steps within the docker file, create a new image and create a container from that, so that newly created container will have always the customization things. Let's do docker container ps, and let's delete everything, which all containers id. Let's delete this so that we can start with fresh. We don't have any container as of now, even though in the stop state I guess so. Oh, we have. So let's delete other things. So now nothing is there. Okay, so first of all we are going to do apt update, which is going to refresh all of our repository with the latest packages, and then later we are going to install a git with the help of apt install git. Hyphen y is like it will prompt me for yes or no, so I want to proceed with yes, so that's why I'm providing option hyphen y over here. Let's build the image one more time. You can see docker image ls. I only have an nginx image. Okay, but if you build it new image, that will also be present over here. So docker image build command is executing, and internally it is going to install the git command within that image. So it is successfully tagged this content, this image, okay, over here. So once you see docker image ls, now the new image is present over here. So the previous image size is 142 MB. New image, this is the base image that we have used, and the new size is 237. Why the size got increased? Because we have added a extra package git, and that git is taking some I meant to say some file system size. So that's why the size of the image got increased, and this got created 15 seconds before, and the image ID is like randomly generated. So right now, if you create any container from this image git underscore tree, in that case git will by default present within that image, sorry, within that container. Let's see it out. Hyphen name c1, and let's create a container from this newly generated image, and let's log into the container. Okay, and if I show you git version, the git is available over here. So even like without installing the git on the container level, if you want that to be present within the container, in that case add that thing within the docker file, create a image from that, and then create a container. So I hope now this diagram helps you out, that you just have to create a docker file for that, and once you create a docker file, build it. Okay, so which all commands you have to run over here. Build is nothing but building an image from the docker file, so your custom image will get created, and once you run that image, a container will get created, and that container will have all the packages that are present within the custom image. This docker file का concept, it's not मतलब concept wise this is the only thing, but we are going to explore few more instructions like the way we have seen from and run. Likewise there are many other like copy, add, then there are almost user, then entry point, cmd. So there are many other instructions that we have to make use of, that definitely we will see tomorrow. But just from the point of view of understanding of what exactly is the docker file, what is the purpose of docker file, is it clear, like like a from instruction and run instruction, and why we need a docker file and why we need a customized image? Thank you so much for joining, and I hope you understood each and everything about this. See you tomorrow in that case. Bye bye.